Welcome to How to Display Excel Data on a Matrix Page. Hey, I'm Eric, and in a different project that I have been working on lately, I have the need to display Excel data inside Business Central. And Excel data is wonderful because it's two-dimensional. You have rows, and you have columns, and you have a bunch of columns. Whenever we show data inside Business Central, we mostly have row and then we have fixed columns. Actually, back in the olden days, we did have a matrix form, I think it was called at that point, in Navision, where you specified two tables, and then there was like one for the rows and one for the columns, and that was pretty cool. But we lost that at some point in time. Maybe we'll get it back. So right now we have to approximate a kind of a two-dimensional data view. And in order to display Excel data, that's what we need to do. If you want to see the old matrix window in action, there are several videos on the channel by now that actually shows the old versions and how that works in them. Maybe subscribe, and then you won't miss when other videos on that topic comes up. Anyway, I think we're going to do a lot of code in this video, so we might as well get to it straight away. Actually, I already cheated just a bit because, as usual, sometimes the compiler hates me. Anyway, I've created an empty extension here, and I have a Samsung drive coming up. I don't need that. And we have several places in Business Central where Microsoft themselves are using this concept of a matrix-ish kind of form. Here's the GL budget, and you see we have columns here that are date-based, and if we go up and say period and we do next period, hopefully maybe we don't have a next period. We can change the columns. I don't know why that didn't change. So these columns are generated, right? It's not hard-coded. This is March 2022. So how's that done? Let me show you. And to do that, what we need is a page, right? So page type is equal list. It's always good. And the data source of a let's actually put a caption on. Capricorn, no, caption. Oh, Excel viewer, how about that? So an Excel sheet has rows. We have rows. So the easiest way to get that is simply to set the source table to be the integer table. And the integer table has a lot of numbers in it. So let's actually set a table view and say where number equal filter from 1 and up. So we're only interested in row 1 and up. We're not interested in row minus 200 because that is not a capability of Excel yet. So that, and let's quickly get a layout going here so we can see how this works. Area, content, and then we need a repeater, of course, to actually show the rows. And we will insert numbers. So the integer table has basically one field. Well, now it's kind of weird. These virtual tables also have system ID and system created that, and because they don't exist, so nobody modified these yesterday. So ignore that when you're looking at it. This table basically has one field called number, and that's pretty good because we got to show if we think about how an Excel sheet kind of looks, the very first thing shown on each row is the row number. So we can, but typically there's no caption. So we'll just make a fake blank caption here. We need to make sure that it's shown with application area. And I think this page totally gotta be non-editable. So that is pretty good. Let me check if I ever got this page number into my launch.json before I start the video. I did. That is perfect. Let's take a look on how this page is looking. So at this point, we just want to have rows. The only thing we're interested in at this point for this deployment is to make sure that we have the concept of a row. And let's actually log in. Come on, BC. And we have that. Well, it's kind of a, you know, there's only one field, but clearly this is, and the issue table, that's a virtual table, and there's also a video on virtual tables if you haven't seen those before. So we can keep going here. There's lots of rows in the integer table. Kind of funny how the three dots once in a while suddenly show up. Anyway, oh, that's good. So now we have the concept of the row. So the next thing is to actually add a proper column. So that will have to be another field, and we can call it column 1. And then I think, so let's put the value that we're going to put in could be something like what are we going to get? Excel cell. And this one would take, so we'll create this as a local procedure. Get Excel cell, takes a row, of course, and takes a column. And for our purpose, we just need to return a text here. So let's just make this simple and exit format row plus a colon, what about a colon plus format column. And that's actually not Excel. Let's think in Excel formatting. So let's put the column before the row, just so. So that is pretty good. We have an Excel sheet. So what is, what is the row? Well, the row is clearly rec.number. We know that. What is the column? But in this case, that'll be column 1. And then we could go simply say caption equal A. And we could replicate this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And then don't start with 3. 3, 4, 5. And then say this is give me column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, and then this is, this is B, and this is C, and D. Bonus, you're learning the alphabet here on the Hogart YouTube channel. Anyway, let's see how this goes. And now you're yelling at me because, Eric, you clearly did not add an application area. If somebody from Microsoft ever comes up with a way to default an application area for all controls without an application area on a page, like, something you could go and say default application area equal all, that will cover everything that does not have an explicit application area. I would buy you a beer, even 2 perhaps. Anyway, until then, I have to put it in here. So let's see how this looks. you know, and that's pretty good. You know, this kind of looks like a spreadsheet, but now we're locked into the problem of fixed columns. So what if we need to see something in column F? So this is not good enough. So let's get rid of caption. And there's actually a different caption control, which is kind of weird. So it's called caption class, and controls the caption that is used in the label. Come on. In the label of a field in a database table and a label of a control on a page. So clearly that's not really helpful. So let me explain how this works. At least, no, I'm not sure I know how it works. Let me explain how I can get it to do what I want. And that is to say 3, comma, and then I can add a function call here. So get column heading. How about that? And this is for 1. How about an equal? Somebody yell at me, say, hey, Eric, add an equal here. And now we need to get a get column heading. Let's create that function. Local get column heading. So this is clearly just a column, integer text. But wait, we did a video. Hang on. We did a video on. Let's do something here. We did a video on the Excel buffer table, and in that video, we created a function, and I think I have it right here. I got it somewhere on a different screen. It looks like this. So go watch the video on the Excel buffer. We're going to use the Excel buffer in a minute, by the way. But go watch the video on the Excel buffer table, because that actually explains how we go from a number to, you know, A, B, C, and AA and all that good stuff. Okay, so now let's do this for all of them. Instead of caption here, instead of caption there, instead of caption there, instead of caption there, and then I need to be sure 1 1 2 2 3 3. So now I'm still hard coding the columns here. Just want to see how this looks. So now we're using caption class instead of caption, and we have a 3 comma, and look, behold, we got A, B, C, D, E, and now it's not as hard coded as before. This is okay. Let's bring the Excel buffer in on this, because the Excel buffer is necessary. So I'll create a var section at the bottom of this thing. You could also add, so I have been discussing with myself where is the proper place to actually place the var section, and to be honest, I think it's actually up here. So where would you place the var section in a code unit? I think it actually makes more sense to have it at the top. That feels better than at the bottom for some reason. So let's create an Excel buffer temporary global variable here. And if we, okay, so we need some way to load an Excel file. So let's actually just do that really quick. We can create an action on our page, action called load, caption equal load, application area set, promoted equal true. Hang on, promoted equal true, promoted category is processing. This one is matching this one, and promoted only is true. And then let's do a trigger on action. Here we go. Bam. So we need to upload a file. So for that, we'll always use the if upload into stream function. and the first parameter is the caption, what we're asking for. The next two parameters doesn't work. They are from the Windows client way back. And then we need a file name variable, and we need a stream to put it in. So let's go and create a file name. That's a text, so we'll get the file name back of what we actually uploaded. And we need an in-stream to read it into. There's also, man, there's a lot of videos to reference at these days. There's a video called In, Out, Read, Write, Confusing Directions. So if you wonder why this is called an in-stream, then go watch that video. Anyway, so now we have a stream with our Excel file, so we can actually do an Excel buffer. Let's just do a delete all, so we're sure that whenever we're loading, we're not messing up what we already had. So Excel buffer, we can do open book stream, and this one takes let's see if we can put it up here. This takes an in-stream, perfect, and it takes a sheet name. This is weird. You cannot open an Excel with Excel buffer without knowing what's inside it, and there's no function to query Excel for sheet names or get the first sheet name or stuff like that. So in this case, we're totally just going to hard code it into sheet 1, for at least for the video bit here. So after you have done this, you actually need to read it. This is kind of weird. So you need to do read sheet in order for this to be written into the temporary table. So now we have we have the Excel in data, so we can actually go down to this guy now, where we want to get the data. And if we look at Excel buffer, we can see that the primary key is row number and column number. So right here, it's impossible to see which one is first, apart from guessing that the one that's on top is first in the primary key. So sometimes you have to go in and check out the source for the table to figure out that it's row comma column. That's the primary key. So here we can say that if Excel buffer.get row comma column, then we know if this cell is in the system. Then exit Excel buffer dot cell what's called cell value as text. That's pretty nice. I think we want to try that, see if that works at all. Let me get rid of some of all these. There's too many of them. So we're blank. We have a load function. We ask for an Excel file. I think I have a folder called YouTube somewhere. There we go. And there's a file called example. Working on it. Bam. Hey, we got data. So A1 is here. That is correct. And we have something in B column, and this is D3. It's just a testing sheet I have. There's some dates, and this is clearly 3, 4, 5. So this looks pretty good. But we have a problem because at this point we're ending at E. So, and we can see here that there's some sort of sequence starting here, but it ends at 5, and that's most disappointing. So let's see if we can get this switched, get it scrolling sideways. So for that, I think the first thing we need to do is establish that what we did up here is not very good. Just being honest with you guys. So I think what we need to do, we need to add another global variable. We need to tell what we're showing the anchor. So we could do something like leftmost column. How about that? Leftmost column, that's an integer. So let's say that after we load this thing, then the leftmost column should be column 1. Meaning that when we up here and showing this guy, this should actually be leftmost column. Leftmost column, and then the next one would have to be leftmost column plus 1, and we keep doing that. Leftmost column plus 2, leftmost column plus 2. Here we go, leftmost column plus 3. Man, I created a large column here. Leftmost column 3. So I'm making sure that both the the source expression of the field and also the parameter that goes into the to get the heading is the correct one. So leftmost column plus 4 here, and leftmost column plus 4. So now the column numbers are no longer hard coded. So let's just see how this goes. I think this will actually break to begin with. Yeah. So so you see, because right now leftmost column, so we should really, just for doing this nicely, we should probably go and on a trigger on open page, do leftmost column equal 1, because you can see right now that the first column does not get a heading, and then the next one get an A. But if we do load our example file again, it actually, because I did do the equal 1 when we're loading the file. So now you can see we have this exact same thing as before, but the columns are no longer hard-coded. So with that in mind, all we really need to do now is to create some sort of action here. So we can create an action called write and say caption equals scroll right. How about that? That's pretty self-explanatory. Application area all. We'll do the promoted because that's nice. And then we'll add an image. And there is one called next record. And the only thing we actually need to do here is to, let's see if it's, I think it's probably enough just to say leftmost column. Let's increase that by 1. Yeah. See if this works at all. So we need to load the file. So we got scroll right, and there's a little arrow on that, so that's pretty good. Example is loading. Okay, here goes nothing. Excellent. So we got B and we can see, now we can see the F column, and we got now we got a number 8 here. I wonder what kind of sequence this is. This is pretty good. Okay, so before we totally do, let's make sure that we actually do scroll left again. I think we're pretty close to let's call this left, scroll left, and I think there's another image called previous record, and we probably need to do, if leftmost is bigger than 1, then we will allow us to make it smaller. So okay, here goes nothing. Or okay, let's load a file. Example again. Bam. Oh, hang on. Did my head cover the number 8? That was not very good. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna scroll now. So I'm gonna BC, and I can scroll back, and this is working very well. It's pretty fast also. And now we're into the double A's here. So I guess that's an Excel viewer. So we got text, we got numbers, Fibonacci numbers even. We got, what do we have? We have dates, and there's probably a calculation. But so the way Excel buffer works is just read the data. So there is no formula that is executed here at all. There's just happened to be the last calculation that was done in Excel stored the result, and that's what we're seeing. And we're not able to scroll past A, and we can, I don't think there's any data in this sheet below line number 10. So that's an Excel viewer in a matrix-ish kind of page inside Business Central. I think it's pretty cool. You could potentially add a bit of formatting. Right now, everything is left justified, because there is no way we really can say that in the same column there's different justification and all that good stuff. But for my secret purpose of showing Excel files somewhere else, this is plentiful. So I'm totally gonna rip this code and put it into that project. So let me know if you're doing matrix pages. Let me know if you're playing with Excel. Comments below, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And when you're done with that, go watch this video. It's a good one. See you there. Bye.